of the key things to kind of just keep in mind as part of this is that there is really no right or wrong answer in relation to these kind of deals. The most important thing is to kind of have a discussion about the points that we're about to talk about. Make sure that there's a clear understanding that the cost, the risk, the benefit are all assessed, and make sure that the deal at the end of it fits what you need it to fit. But I guess if we're going to look at the landscape and what's going on at the moment, I think it's safe to say that while kind of large-scale transactions, large-scale IT projects or technology projects have not disappeared altogether, they're certainly becoming far less common than they have been in the past. What we're seeing is, and in actual fact, I kind of watched with interest kind of the reaction from the tech sector as a whole in recent times with some government large-scale projects where they were looking at, in relation to the likes of the IRD and that, where they were looking at kind of large systems that were going to be kind of all-encompassing, and the sector reaction that they weren't entirely sure that that was the best outcome for everybody involved. Certainly not the old one system to rule them all type approach is not being seen as kind of a standard and safe approach in many circumstances these days. And so what we're looking at is a much more kind of commoditized version of kind of tech solutions. That is, smaller solutions that are very specific at delivering certain outcomes that are all designed to kind of work together to give you the outcome for the business that you're looking at. They're very much more targeted and are designed to be kind of much more open for ease of use with everybody. We are looking at the cloud solutions becoming much more prevalent, and with cloud you are actually moving into that kind of commoditized outcome. The offering becoming much more kind of standard, that you have to kind of look at how your business can use the solution in the way it is. That there is a kind of a cost element, a reduction of cost, because there is a much more standardized kind of approach to delivering the solution to you. But at the same time, you then need to make sure that you can use that solution in its standardized form. We are moving away from kind of bespoke software being written. We don't see that so much anymore. I mean, we certainly are seeing customized solutions being less common as well. So taking standard software, making custom, getting into the code, making custom changes to it. And part of the reason for that is the difficulty or the risk involved in getting that wrong, but also the difficulty in continuing to support it as the software continues to involve the cost and the effort involved in having to try and keep that, keep your customized versions up to date. So it's getting much more into a kind of configured version where things are able to be kind of shaped within the standard offering. On the services side, we are looking at implementation changing as a result of there being less kind of customization, much more configuration. So implementation theoretically becomes a lower risk. And the support side changes because the way in which that solution is being made available is very much more service driven rather than, here's your software, use it on this, and we will kind of, help you out when you raise your hand. So there's very much more a kind of a wraparound solution or service that's coming in as part of this. And then of course the way in which it's all being used enables everybody to understand a little better how the business uses it, what kind of transactions are happening, what kind of data is being collected, and that enables the business itself to actually improve the way in which it engages in its dealings with its third-party suppliers, its customers within the business. But data is a whole topic in itself, and actually we're going to have a conversation about that as a separate tech transformation seminar at some point. So we're really looking at, at this thing being kind of a much more standardized offering, which hopefully in itself makes it easier to kind of implement, easier to support. But within that, you need to start to look at, can you work within the confines of that standard? And if you can't, can they be changed? What are the costs of that? What are the risks of that? And what are the benefits for you?